But let's speak to yet another chieftain of the party. He stepped down, so he's not straight to stepping down. He's the former national youth leader of the APC and a supporter of one of the aspirants. Joining us is Mr. Ismaeel Ahmed. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you. Objection to being a supporter of one of the aspirants?
I'm a supporter of the party.
I'm a member of the party.
Being political, but I mean, you did say you were supporting a particular aspirant.
Yes, I am, but I'm not going to disclose it here.
You're not going to disclose it.
So it's interesting that we now have representatives of the voice of the two major aspirants that is becoming the two-man standing at the end of the day. So we had for the Professor Oshibajo, now we have for Asiwaju Tinubu.
Oh, why are you concluding that?
Tell us if it's wrong then.
Am I wrong?
You have the mic.
Why are you concluding
Am
that?
I wrong?
No, I am a proponent of the Southwest to get the ticket. That's what I am proponent.
So what is happening? Can you tell us? What's the latest?
I don't know what the latest is, but I do know that the governors took a stand that they should go to the South. And I'm happy that they did that. The governors, the 13 northern governors, progressive northern governors. And I think it's a wonderful idea they did that. And I think it's something that we support. And I, especially as a northerner, I think I'm extremely proud for that stand that he took.
What do you think about the position of Kogi State Governor?
I think he has the right to express his opinion. This is a democracy. But I think we are of the, we really believe that the party should, the stabilization of the party would have to go if there is some sort of an arrangement between these two regions.
How confident are you? Because the Electoral Act does stipulate that for consensus to prevail at the end of the day, all of the aspirants will have to give their consent in writing. If he's already threatening, and I'm trying to be very careful with my words, already raising his objection pretty strongly today, on the day of the convention. How confident are you that your party will be able to obtain his consent in writing?
First of all, I'm not an advocate of consensus. Okay. I'm not. I don't think there should be consensus.
Yeah, but if you're already narrowing it down,
no, I'm not the one who I'm not the one who is narrowing it down. And I think
it's the party, isn't it?
I don't support narrowing anything down. What I support is for the delegates to actually vote for a candidate from the southern extraction. I want primaries to hold because I actually believe that legitimacy of a candidate comes from winning an election, not being given a ticket. So consensus would need to come from consent. And if there is no consent, every of the qualified aspirant who has bought his form, who has passed screening, and who is willing to go on the floor, by all means, we want that to happen. We want the true, transparent, and credible democracy to happen. That's what we want.
Your party has always done consensus. Is that illegitimate?
No, it's not illegitimate. Consensus is one of the options. I'm saying that I, Ismaeel Ahmed, prefer that the primary should hold, especially for the presidential flag bearer, because we want a presidential flag bearer to emerge with the mandate of members of the party represented by delegates coming from every local government. That is how you can go back to your local government and work for that candidate because you gave him your vote.
Yes, but so far so good. What we have seen is that there's a narrowing down. You just said you're proud of governors from the north supporting the zoning to the south
so shifting
of the country.
Yes.
But so far so good. Candidates from all parts of the country have bought their forms.
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of horse trading going on behind the scenes to finally narrow down the number of candidates who delegates will eventually vote for. Haven't aspirants been excluded already by that?
No. Let me tell you what's going to happen, right? What the governors did, and there are total of 22 governors in APC, right? There are other 14 states that do not have governors. So what are you saying, that they don't have a say in what happens? They are going to have delegates here today. Some of them have more delegates than the states that have governors. So what I'm saying is that the governors just came together and say, look, us as governors, who are now going to have a say and where our delegates vote, we are going to vote for a candidate from the southern extraction because we believe that that is the fair thing to do. And we agree with them.
So
that's all.
You have an idea of what will play out tonight. Now, whatever happens, how does it take away from what you would have wanted to happen?
All I want is for primaries to hold. Whoever emerges as the winner, every one of us who is a progressive member of this party will queue up behind the winner, and we are going to win election in February. But anything short of that, if we have people hamstrung or taken out by force without their consent or taken out in any way, then what you are breeding is discontent within the party. We don't need it. We need the unity. What brings unity is the momentum of winning. We want primary elections to hold. We want a winner to emerge from the votes of the delegates, and we want that winner to be queued behind. Now, governors, senators, and every stakeholder can sit down and have their own preferred candidate. That's fine. Nobody stops that. And they can come together and talk to themselves and say, look, we can vote this way. It always happens in democracy. It doesn't change anything. But
yeah,
this process needs to be seen to be transparent. This process needs to be seen to be credible. The winner at the end of tonight needs to be seen to have won the primary. That is the most important thing for us as members of this party.
When this is over and the other candidates or aspirants rather sign and say, I concede to this, does that invalidate the fact that
Absolutely
it was a consensus?
Then that is fine, because that is what they have done. You see, consensus
so they will not just
be
be fulfilling the electoral provisions of the Electoral Act.
Hold on. Consensus needs to come from the contestants, not to them. I think one of the problems that we are having is that consensus goes to the contestants instead of coming from them.
Doesn't the end justify the means?
No. You see, what you do is when you force a consensus, when you force it, and it doesn't come from the contestants, it comes to them, what happens is that there is a silent discontent that might brew up and might escalate at the end, because we have an 8-month law. We need to go out and we need to fight this. We are going to have a primary today. Right. I'm sure of that. I'm hoping that somehow some people are going to drop today. Certainly, some people are going to look at it, come up to the stadium and say they are dropping out of the race. That's fine. But it needs to be done the legal way.
Thank you so much. We've seen some arrivals, and as the former governor of Edo State, and he was one of those who announced his aspiration to become president, but we now know that he's gotten a ticket to run as a senator in Edo State, and that's how the grounds is looking right now, right here on the Edo Square in Abuja. But I'd like to